My name is Charles Webster Baer, and today is September 6, 2014. I'm in Tianjin, China, and my website is gig15.com, gig15.com. So, what I want to talk about is environmentalism. And environmentalism, in my opinion, means saving the environment. So, in my opinion, the only way to save the environment is to create an immediate and significant and sustained decline in the human population. And this would continue until we reach a level that's sustainable. And in my opinion, that would be 2 or 3 billion. And it would probably take a few centuries to get there. So how would you do that? Well, what you do is you would convince humans that they don't need to reproduce anymore. You basically use logic and common sense to explain to people that A, there are too many people on the planet Earth, and B, because of that, you don't need to make more people. I have a feeling that people in the past attempted this and were not successful. However, we need to continue to attempt this until we are successful. Now, a political way to look at this would be through the United Nations. In other words, the American government and all civilized nations, which is most nations, would assist the United Nations in supporting global female reproductive rights. And what that means is that every government on the planet Earth, in order to be a legitimate government, would provide every female on Earth with free and total access to all forms of birth control, including birth control education. Governments that do this would be legitimate governments. Governments that don't do this would be illegitimate governments. Illegitimate governments will be quickly and peacefully replaced with legitimate governments. Now, to be a legitimate government, you have to support female reproductive rights 100%. Legally, it's legal. Financially, we're going to pay for it. The government pay for all the birth control for all the females, including the education. Culturally, socially, it's socially acceptable, it's culturally acceptable. Females individually choose to not have kids, and they're encouraged to make that decision because it's the correct decision. This is not an economic issue, okay? Some people say, well, Charles, you're saying it's okay for rich people to have kids, but it's not okay for poor people to have kids. I'm not saying that. I'll never say that. I've never said that. This is not an economic issue. This is a human issue. This is a earth issue. It's not okay to have kids. I don't care if you're a billionaire. I don't care if you're living in a ditch. Okay? It's not an economic issue. Rich people should not have kids. Poor people should not have kids. Middle class people should not have kids. Human beings should not have kids. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. It's not a racial issue. It's not a religious issue. It's not an economic issue. It's a human issue. It's a global issue. There are too many people on Earth, which means we don't need to make more people, which means we shouldn't reproduce. And people say to me, yeah, but Charles, if we don't reproduce, then we'll go extinct. Okay. Everybody alive on the planet Earth right now is going to live the rest of their lives on a planet that has too many people. I don't care if you're 90 years old or 9 months old. Everyone alive today is going to spend the rest of their life on an overpopulated planet. On a planet that has too many people. Okay? People should be able to breathe clean air and drink clean water. People are no longer able to do that. And guess what? The air is only going to get dirtier, and the water is only going to get dirtier. Okay? So, what is environmentalism? Environmentalism is saving the environment. Well, why do we want to do that? Because if we kill the environment, which is what we're doing, or what we've already done, then we can't survive without the environment. We can't survive. We're on a suicide course here. Basically, when we kill the environment, we've killed ourselves. We will die without the environment. So, killing the environment is the same thing as killing the human race. What we're doing is we're committing suicide. We're killing ourselves. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to kill the environment. We don't want to kill ourselves. We want to save the environment. We want to save ourselves. Well, how do we do that? By reducing the human population on Earth. Well, how do we do that? By not having any kids. By not reproducing anymore. Well, how do we do that? By convincing people that they don't need to have kids. Okay? Well, how do we do that? By just common sense and logic. Look, there's too many people on the planet. That means we don't need to make more. Birth control. For everybody. All the time. Right now. Well, how do we do that? Well, the United Nations does it. Well, how do they do that? Well, with the help of everybody else. Governments that are not totally down with female reproductive rights are illegitimate governments, and we need to replace them with legitimate governments. Legitimate governments are governments that are totally down with female reproductive rights. Legally, it's legal. Culturally, it's the right idea. Financially, governments pay for all forms of birth control plus education for all females and males. So that's environmentalism. That's what environmentalism is. Okay. All right. Now, if you disagree with what I'm saying, that means that you're stupid. It's okay to be stupid. You can be stupid and lead a productive life. If you're stupid, that's fine. You're not a bad person. You're just stupid. Now, if you are stupid, there's a chance that you can become smart. So, work on that, and I wish you the best of luck in that endeavor. And hopefully you can succeed. I think you can, and good for you. So, that's environmentalism. And my name is Charles Webster Baer, and today is September 6, 2014, and I'm in Tianjin, China, and my website is gig15.com, Global Internet Government. And have a very nice day, and let's save the planet, and let's hurry up and save the planet quickly, because we don't have a lot of time. Goodbye.